Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Teacher Enoch, and I do teach ICT as a subject. So in today's video, we are going to go through the marking guide of the HES mocks, that is ICT paper 1. We are going to see how a student would have attempted these questions, or that 20 numbers. But I kindly remind you that if you want to get any past paper that is from baby class to senior 6, especially the candidate students who are preparing for the final examinations of both UCE and then UACE, the right place or the best place to get all this paper is through googling what we call the UG study resources. Go to Google and then type, or just search for UG study resources, and then you'll be able to view or to access all the papers. Let me show it to you practically. Go to Google, like here. This is my Google. Type in UG study resources and then press enter or search. You're going to see this site. When you see this site, click here. After clicking there, you're going to a site loads, and then you're going to see. You can also join our WhatsApp. You can talk to us on WhatsApp. When you scroll down, you can keep on scrolling down. First of all, there is a search tab. This one, you can use it to search for any paper. Let us say Wakisha Biology Senior 4. You can type in and then click on this one. You search, the paper will come, and then you download it. So when you scroll down, when you continue down, you're going to see resources by subjects. We have agriculture, we have biology, chemistry. You can see the subject. So if you are looking for any paper, let us say you're looking for geography, kindly click in the geography tag, and then you'll be able to access all the resources. Still, we have options for those who are looking for these papers by level. If you're in advanced level, click either senior 5 or senior 6. You will see all the papers. If you're in primary, we have primary 1 up to P7. Now, here down, these are the most downloaded resources. You can see people who have downloaded so far this paper, the Wakisha Joint Mock Examination. This is the recently uploaded one, the one of St. Joseph Nakalama Biology Seminar Solution. So let me show you practically how you can download that paper. Let us say you're looking for ICT. Simply click in the tag of ICT, a paper to get a pen ICT tag. Click there. When you see an ad like this, just close it, not really like this. So after clicking the tag of ICT, I've said click in the tag of ICT, and then it will load. Sorry, I'm having challenges with my computer. I will explain it later. Let me first solve the issue of the internet. So now we are going to go through the HES mock examination 2025. That is the UACE subsidiary ICT paper 1, and then you can see that this is 2025. Then the very first question, instructions are always straight. Attempt all questions in this paper, because the paper carries 20 questions. Each question carries 5 marks. So if you multiply 5 by 20, you get 100. And then the paper lasts for 2 hours. Let me maximize my page so that we can easily see it. You can see the paper lasts for 2 hours and 30 minutes according to the HES mock examination. And then here comes question number 1. You can see there are 4 more questions on this page. Then we are going to move step by step. We have question number 1, which says define the term computer hardware. And then a computer hardware is a tangible component of a computer, e.g. a keyboard or a mouse. That component of a computer that can be touched or that can be felt is what we term, or is what we call hardware, computer hardware. So it can be touched, a keyboard can be touched, a mouse can be touched, a monitor, a speaker, all those are hardware components. Then a student gets 2 marks, and I always tell students to define these terms and then also give at least 2 examples. Yeah, at least 2 examples, so that you can get your full 2 marks. So we proceed. Part B says mention the 3. You can see it is bolded, meaning you should mention the 3, not 2. Mention the 3 main components of a CPU. CPU, that is central processing unit. The first one is the control unit, and then we have the arithmetic logic unit. So this control unit controls almost like 80% of everything that runs within the CPU. Then the arithmetic logic unit, this one handles the calculations and then the logical part of a computer. Yeah, and then the register, the memory that a CPU at least can easily access or communicate to, especially when dealing with processing or doing activities that are done like every time or every now and then. So that is the register or the registers. Now that is part B. Mention the 3 main components of central processing unit. We have the control unit, we have the ALU, and then we have the register. We proceed to number 2, which says give 2 advantages of using a compact disk over hard disk, and then give 3 disadvantages of compact disks over hard disks. There is a typo here, I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. Compact disk, it is compact disk, it's DISC, and then the other one is DISK. Then if you're viewing or if you're watching this video, I would ask you to go and make research and try to research why compact disk has a C at the end, and then hard disk has K at the end. Now, advantages of compact disks over hard disks. A compact disk, others call it a CD, is portable, and then also light. Yeah, lightweight. It's not that heavier than the hard disk. It is just light and then portable. You can move with it in your bag or your pocket, whereas the hard disks are somehow heavy. Now, second one, less expensive. Yeah, you can get a CD at around 5K, 5,000, 3,000, and then it's also good for distribution. You can easily share or distribute to your colleagues. Then when you go to the disadvantages of compact disks over hard disk, they have lower storage capacity compared to these ones, and then they have slower access speed. Like when you want to copy something from a CD, the speed is slower than that of hard disk, and it can also get damaged easily. Being scratched or broken. That is the CD. So hard disk is better than a CD. Now, when we proceed to our question, that is question 3. Question 3 was distinguish between input and output devices. So input, you should not explain like input devices. This is just the act. That's why we can say input refers to entering data into a computer, while output devices, these are just devices which give out information, so a student gets a mark there. Examples of output, we have the speakers, we have the monitor, we have the then input devices, we have the microphone input, we have the keyboard input, we have the mouse, that is input, joysticks input. Then when we proceed to part B, give 3 advantages of using a keyboard to enter data into a computer. First one, easy and direct data entry. You can easily enter data into a computer using a keyboard. Then it's also suitable for entering text or numbers. That is a keyboard. Then still, it is widely available, so it can easily be accessed. That is the keyboard. Then we proceed to Number 4, they're saying distinguish between a file name and then a file extension. A file name, this is the unique identifier of a file. It uniquely identifies the file. That this file is called, let us say S.6 dot docx. So dot docx, sorry, dot d, let us say it's do, then we have cx. Now this one becomes the file extension. Yeah, this one becomes the file extension. And then if we have ICT, let us say ICT dot, let us say it's dot pdf, ICT dot pdf. So the entire the whole of it now becomes the file name, So that's why we're saying a file name is a unique identifier of a file, while a file extension is the suffix showing file type, or the last characters that are added onto the file name that detects or that shows a user which file or which program should be used to open, or which program was used to create that file. For example, we have .ppt to mean PowerPoint presentation. Then we have a lot of file extensions. We have .pub to mean publisher. We have .html to mean hypertext transfer, hypertext markup language. Sorry. Then when we proceed to part B of question 4, they're saying, given the file path below, you can see it here on your screen. Identify the following: 1, or manual 1, the root directory. So the root directory, that is always the first letter. This is C. That's why most of you on your computer, you can see local disk C, local disk D according to the partition, and then the naming scheme, the use of the letters. You can change this to C, you can change it to B, any. And then the dev now becomes the user folder name, and then the folder name becomes the seminar. So this file path is case sensitive. What do I mean? If the word seminar is in capital letter, always also write it in capital letter. So don't change. If this one is in small letter, write it in small letter. If I told only the first letter is capital or capitalized, also do the same. That's why mine is also capitalized, just like the way it is. You can see here now this one becomes the file, the file extension, and then the entire file now is this one. So if they also ask for the file is S850.docx. Well, so we proceed. We have now, what are utility programs? Utility programs, these are computer programs that enhance the performance of a computer. We can say we have the antivirus, we have the backup utility. So in brief, these are the programs that add that add extra support to the system. Let us say you buy a laptop, it is working very well, but you also want to keep it safe, like in good working condition. You can proceed and then purchase antivirus software so that you protect it away from viruses. So those are the utility programs. Their main role is to enhance or to improve. Enhance, you can mean to improve the performance of computer, i.e. antivirus, backup utilities, we have the sort utilities, and then others also. Now they're saying explain three utility programs that can be applied to prevent file loss. The utility programs that can be applied to prevent file loss. We have a lot of programs, but here I've said we have backup utility. That one backs up files. The antivirus utility, this one detects and it can also erase viruses or a virus. Then disk repairs disk. We have a lot of programs. We also have disk partitioning. We have also one that works with we have disk defragmenter, we have the sort utility programs. There are quite many. Now when we proceed to number 6, they're saying define the term a computer virus. So a computer virus refers to malicious, something extremely dangerous, malicious program that disrupts the functioning of a computer. And then when we go to part B, mention any 2 ways through which computer viruses are activated. How they are activated. So the first one, I have executing infected files. If you run a file which is infected, you can be activating a virus. Then booting from infected media. When you insert a USB into your computer, then you boot, or you want to change Windows by the Windows, they are infected, or the files are corrupted, or they're infected with a virus. When you try to boot from that USB, your computer will be you will be activating the virus. Then when you proceed to part C, they're saying how a virus is spread from one computer to another. They are telling us to give only 2. So first one, USB devices, those USB, let us say the flash, then the memory cards. We have also email attachments. For example, someone composes an email, and then on that email he attaches a file, and that file is affected by a virus. When you open an email and then you also download that file, your computer will get a virus. And then number 7, what is a computer crime? We are saying a computer crime, this is the illegal, now note, the illegal act that involves computer use. So any illegal act done by a computer, it is a computer crime. Then here comes our part B. Differentiate between the following as used in computer security. One is hacking, and then we have cracking. So hacking, this one refers to gaining the unauthorized access. While cracking refers to the malicious breaking into a system. Then software theft and then software piracy. Software theft refers to stealing of software, either physically or illegally copying software. Whereas software piracy, this one refers to unauthorized duplication of software. If you go on and then duplicate software without being authorized to do so, that is software piracy. Then we have another number here, that is number 8. However, it's cropped out, but it's number 8A. Give 3 health problems associated with the prompt use of computers. The health problem someone can get if he or she continues to use a computer on a daily basis. We have the eye strain, we have the back pain, and then the repetitive strain injury. Others just put RSI. Those are the 3 health problems that are associated with the prompt use of a computer. Then they're saying give 2 ways how can these problems be avoided. So 1, we have proper posture. Someone should sit very well at the angle of 90. Let us say this is the chair now. So this is the chair. Someone is here. He or she must sit with her or his back straight in that angle, and then the thighs should also be in that angle, and then the legs should also be in this angle. So this is the proper way of using a computer. Just look and see. So to solve the above problems, a user should have a proper posture, and that is using ergonomic chairs that can be extended, chairs that can be fixed or moved. And now we have another one, that is frequent breaks. Yeah, someone should at least spare something like 10 minutes away from a computer, then try to have a break, and then he will be able to solve the above problems. Then we have number 9 here, that's saying explain the term intellectual property. This one refers to the legal rights over creation of mind. Someone creates a poem, someone creates a song, or someone comes up with something unique, that is the like he or she gets those legal rights over her or his created work. That's why we are saying intellectual property refers to legal rights over creation of mind. Then we have part B, explain the 4 forms of intellectual property. They are here. We have the trademarks. Trademarks, these are simply the logo or a symbol that represents goods. You can see WhatsApp logo, you can see a Facebook logo, which is just F. You can see those with Apple phones. You can see that Apple. I'm trying to come up with Apple here, but I'm not good with art. Yeah, but hope you're getting it clearly. The logo, the Apple, then another logo. We have the Dell. Those with computers of Dell, you can see their logo is in this way, like this, with that E. So the logos or the symbols that represent goods. I can say software. The software. I can talk about novels, or those ones are goods. So the logos that represent such, they are the trademarks. So another one, they're saying corporates. A corporate, this one simply protects authorship. Someone who owns or who has authority over something he or she has created. I can write a book or a novel or a poem. I'm now the author. So the corporates protect authorship. Like I can say, no one should duplicate my work, no one should copy, no one should go ahead and then print or photocopy, because I own the copyright. So copyright protects the authorship. Then we have the patent rights. This one protects the invasion. Then when we proceed, the last one is trade secret. Trade secret, this is the confidential business information. Let us say we have companies like MTN, we have Airtel. So when you go ahead and then subscribe to MTN, they give you a SIM card, and then you register, or you fill that form of KYC, know your customer. So that information, it is the trade secret, because the company will keep it confidential. Like the information that should not be put in public. Let us say you have an account in a bank, let us say Stanbic, Centenary, Equity. So that information shouldn't be put public, because it's client's information, and that one becomes the confidential business information, or becomes the trade secret. Then when we proceed to A, we have defined the term computer performance. This one measures, or measure of how efficiently computer runs tasks. That is the computer performance. Then they are saying list any 3 activities performed during computer servicing in your school. Computer servicing in your school. 1, we have updating software. Then 2, cleaning hardware components. Then 3, checking for malware. Are these devices affected by a virus? Then you go ahead and then check. You can also add on troubleshooting and others. So that is those are the 3 activities that can be performed during computer servicing in your school. When you proceed to letter C, that is number 10, part C. State 1 reason why computers need stable power supply. that is to prevent data loss or hardware damage, and that's why most of people use the UPS, the uninterruptible power supply. Uninterruptible power supply. That's why most of people use the UPS, so that they can have that enough time to save their work before the machine goes down, or even to prevent the hardware damage, because electricity might go and then comes back with increased voltage, and then it will damage either the power supply system or any component attached on a computer. Then number 11, they're saying assuming that one of your friends has bought a computer set with the specifications below. As a student of computer studies, help him or her to understand these specifications as to answer the questions that follow. So if you want a copy of this paper, I'm going to provide a link in the comment section so that you can easily download it and then also try it out or use it for revision purposes. You will be able to also go through all this. I just want to save time, but you'll go through this. But as you can see, they're saying state this computer's processing speed automatically it is 2.60 gigahertz, and then when you see here, describe what the DVD RW will enable him to do. It will enable him to read and write the DVDs or the CDs. Then they're saying, what do DDR stand for in full? That is the double data rate. You can see we have the DDR in our question here, the DDR double data rate 2. We have the DDR2, DDR3, and then also here we have the SDRAM. This is the synchronous dynamic random access memory. Then we have the HDD there, so you should be able to also answer those. We have the LCD, the DVD. You should be able to answer those acronyms. We have the CD, because you never know, they might bring them just like this one, DDR, which is double data rate. Then part D, identify one utility program supplied by the above computer. So the answer is Norton Internet Security. Like you can check in the question, it is somewhere here. It is here, Norton Internet Security. And if you can remember, utility programs, they help in enhancing or improving the performance of a computer. So that's why we are saying it is Norton Internet Security, a program supplied by the above computer. Now we have part E, A, B, C, D, E. Yes, convert the RAM capacity to megabytes. So 1 GB of RAM weighs 1024 MBs. Others use 1000, but I always tell my students to use 1024 simply because the storage always runs in 2. Let us say 1 GB, 2 GB, we have 4 GB, we have 8 GB, we have 16. So it is a computer works on zeros and ones, that is 0 or a 1. So if you get this one, just multiply it with a 2. Multiply it with 2. I'll make another video explaining all this. So if you multiply 1 by 2, you get 2. You also multiply this by 2, you get 4. You multiply 4 by 2, you get 8. You multiply 8 by 2, you get 16. So when you continue with this loop, you will see that you will not get 1000 at the end, but you will get 1024. That's why we say 1 GB is equal to 1024. So there were 4 GB of RAM. When you check here, we have 4 GB. We have 4 GB. So when I proceed here, I will say 1 GB equals to 1024. And then if I have 4 GB, I will call it X. Then the answer will be, when you multiply on your calculator, you will get 4096 MBs, and that is the answer. You'll get your 1 mark like that. And then when you proceed to question 12, explain 3 facts that have made electronic emails more popular than traditional methods. 1, faster delivery in just seconds. I can compose a mail to someone who is in USA, and then he or she receives that mail. And then it is also cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper, no transport costs incurred in. Then it allows file attachment. I can send a message and then attach my video or attach my photo. That's why we are saying it allows file attachment. That is the electronic mail, something like ICT 2024 at gmail.com. Yeah, so part B says state 2 reasons to explain the limited usage of these electronic mails in your community. So in my community, I've said there is low internet access, and then the computer illiteracy. Most of these people do not know or lack the ICT literacy and the ICT knowledge. That's why I say there is low internet connection, low internet access, and then computer illiteracy. Then when you go to 13, we are just left with only 7 numbers. 13, they're saying distinguish between custom-made and off-the-shelf packages. Custom-made, this is the software developed for a specific organization. Let me give you an example. We can have Stanbic Bank with their own application, with their own software, just to work within the organization of Stanbic Bank, within the organization of Equity, within the organization of Centenary, whereby if you have an application of Stanbic Bank, someone from Equity, he or she cannot use that same software, or he or she cannot use that same application. So that app was developed, or the software was developed for a specific organization, which is that bank. Whereas the off-the-shelf is a software that is developed to cater for a wider range of audience. That's why I'm saying off-the-shelf for many users. Take an example of Microsoft Word package. You can use it, someone else can use it in Office, someone can use it in calculations. We have the WhatsApp, it can be used by anyone. It's just it's just off the shelf. Then rather than customized for only a specific organization. That is custom made, and then the off the shelf difference. Then we go to part B. Many companies today are using tailor-made software for internal operations. Give 3 advantages such companies are likely to benefit. 1, more control and flexibility, because it's their own software. They'll be able to control it, and also flexible, because it was developed based on their ideas. Still tailored to company needs. I can say develop a software which I can use to do this, adding this. So they are tailoring this software to meet my company needs. Then competitive advantage also can be a point. So when you proceed, that was number 13B. When you proceed, they're saying below is a database table for a company. Use it to answer questions that follow. You can see the table. I've said I'm going to provide a link in the comment section. So if you are viewing this video and you want a copy of this paper, you're going to click on that link in the comment section. So below is a database table for a company. Use it to answer questions that follow. First question: how many fields are found in the above database structure? There are 7. Why? This one is a field. You can see in database a table like this is a relation. A table is called a relation. Then these ones are the field. These ones are the fields. 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why I'm saying they are 7 fields. They are 7 fields. Others call them attributes. Others call them attributes. Then these ones, they are the values. Now the information entered in is called values. Then part B, identify appropriate data type for number 1, comments. You can say text, you can say short text, you can say a long text. You will still get a mark. Then the cost is currency. The cost is currency, because it is talking about something related to money. You can see 800,000, 400,000. So it is currency. And then part C, A, B, C, D, E. Part C, write down a date, scroll time, field property format you will use to output date supplied 2023 Jan 03. So it is DD. Did it represent these two? And then MMM represent the 3 Jan, and then YY represent the year. So it's date, month, and year, though following the number of characters used. You can see here. These ones are 4, these ones are 3, these ones are 2. 4, 3, then 2. Then last part on that number 14, which is D. Write down the appropriate primary key field for your database. It is stupid. It is stupid. So primary key, that is the unique identifier of a unique identifier in a relation or in a table. You can see no one can share. So a primary key can only be allocated to only one person or one individual or one item. It cannot be shared by anyone else. Yes, I can have a person called Isaac, but Isaac can be sharing a name with someone else. Actually, all dates supplied on the same date, even the cost being the same, or even the use being the same with the same comments. But by the primary key or the stupid, there is S. I'm sorry, it is cropped out, but there is S. This one, everyone or each item has its own number, so that one becomes the primary key. That's why I'm saying now the primary key here is stupid. Now question 15, more 5 questions left. Define the following terms as used in computer software. The beta software. This is a test version of software before final release. So someone develops a software and then says, okay, before I put it on market or I put it out, let me first give you a sample of it, and then you see if we are good to go. Then shared one will be the beta software. A test version of software before the final release. And then software release, this is the final version of software available to users. You'll be having a Mac. Then part B, this is ABC, intends to acquire an inventory management software so as to curb down the rampant to bring down, so as to curb down the rampant theft of goods in stock by workers. Explain to company management any 3 factors that should be considered before obtaining that software program. 1, they should consider the cost. Is the software expensive, cheap, or that's why I'm saying they should first consider the cost of the software. Then secondly, compatibility with the hardware. Can the software run on the hardware they have? Then third one, user friendliness or the training requirements. Does this software require someone to be trained, and for how long? Or can it be used by anyone? Is it user friendly? Those are the 3 things that a company will need to at least consider before obtaining that software program, according to me. Then question 13, explain the following terminologies as used on internet. We have the cookies. So cookies, these are the small files stored on users' computer by websites. That's why you visit most of the websites, and then they tell you to please accept the cookies. So those are the small files stored on users' computer by website. Most especially these files help these website like owners to know the location of the person who has visited the site, what they were doing, the IP addresses, like to improve on the services as the website owners. You get my point? So those are the cookies. Then we have the web count. This one measures number of visitors or views on a certain page. If you visit a page, the web count measures the number of the visitors that visited that page or that view that page. All these are the page views. So we have another part B here saying mention any 3 internet service providers in Uganda other than Airtel. So we have MTN, we have Smile Communication, we have Lock Telecom, we have Liquid Telecom. So if you give at least 3 from these ones, you will be marked correct. Also consider those also consider it that there are those which were chased out. I'm sorry to use that term, but there are those which are no longer functioning, but they were once part of the service providers in Uganda. And the question says providers in Uganda. So like Africell is no longer working within Uganda. So that one would be wrong. You put MTN, Smile, Lock Telecom. We also have there is another one, UTL, Uganda Telecom. Yeah, it is also internet service provider. Question 17. Study the URL and answer the questions that follow. You can see the URL. What does HTTP stand for? This one is the Internet Protocol. Or you can type and say Hyper Text Transfer Protocol, and you will get a tick. Yeah. Then the domain name always starts with after the protocol. This is the protocol. Now this one becomes the domain name. This one becomes the domain name. Then this one becomes the domain name extension, and then this one becomes the folder. If there is another thing before Uganda, that one becomes the subfolder. This one becomes the folder, and then Uganda becomes the file. That's why here the domain name is www.ecdl.org. And then which is the top level domain, the TLD in this URL? It is .org. Always consider putting a full stop before, and then you write .org, because once you leave this out, you'll be marked wrong. So you should consider putting a full stop here, then you write .org, because that is the right way to write domain name extensions, and also same applies to file extensions. .pdf, .doc, .png, .mp3. Hope we are the same pace. Now they're saying, what does countries represent in this URL? So countries, this is the sub directory or a sub folder. Then what is the document name which is currently opened on this website? The document name is Uganda, just like you can see our URL here. It is Uganda. Now second last, number 18, explain the term network protocol. So these are just the set of rules that do govern communication. So say set of rules governing communication, that is the network protocol. Part B, what are the likely benefits your school is likely to enjoy for having its computers in administration offices networked? They are talking about the administration offices, not computer laboratories. So centralized data, it's one of the benefits. Then we have resource sharing, printers, scanners, they can be connected together, and then resources can be shared easily. We also have is a communication. After all, computers are connected. If it's sharing a file, there will be is a communication or transfer of that file from one, or computer, say from DOS's computer to the deputy's computer. Then for each of the statements below, write a true or false in the spaces provided. Then statement true or false. So you have to either choose true or false. The first one says format painter clears formatting effects to the selected text, which is false. Then we have a typewriter prints one character at a time. That one is true. Then Microsoft Word, this is MS Microsoft, then Word, Microsoft Word can be used for simple calculations. It is true. Then Ctrl+Shift+W underlines words only, which is true. Then word processors cannot be used for printing hard copies of documents. It is false, because you can use Microsoft Word and then you do print hard copies of documents being typed. Then the last number was state 5 limitations to full internet use in your community. One is high cost of internet or data bundles. Like data bundles might be expensive to purchase, so people in the community might tend not to use internet. Yeah. Then there is also increased cyber insecurity. You hear every now and then that someone has been hacked, his or her WhatsApp number has been hacked, social media accounts being hacked, and then information being linked. So whenever people hear such, they might tend not to get access to the internet or join internet. Hence, so it's a limitation to full internet. Then there is limited electricity supply. Yeah, because in my community, we are in the village. We are in the village, so there is limited electricity supply. And then low ICT literacy. Like not everyone or most of people don't know how to use a computer and also other related stuff as far as information and communication technology is concerned. Then lastly, I'm saying poor connectivity or the infrastructures. They can be, for example, in our community we might have a bigger border or buildings that cannot favor the connectivity, hence reducing on the network speed or network or internet supply in my community. So that was the HES mock 2025 paper, which was done by senior 6 students, and it had 20 questions, each question weighing only 5 marks, and then when you multiply 5 by 20, and then the total marks will be 100. So I always urge you people, if you feel this video has been that important to you, please share with your friend, because I am still bringing other videos related to ICT as a subject, and also we'll be having other videos related to every subject. We are UG Study Resources. Allow me to sign out, and then we'll be in touch maybe next day. I remain teacher Enoch, and I do teach ICT. So if you feel like you want any assistance in ICT, kindly WhatsApp me or direct message me on 0706 97 4148. This is my WhatsApp number. So feel free to WhatsApp me, and then we'll be in touch. Also, feel free to write to me on email me on you can say Enosoft. You write to Enosoft at ugstudyresources.org. I will see your email, and I'll be able to reply you there. And then still, if you want to learn web developing, or if you want to learn application developing, or if you want to learn what we call the software developing, also feel free to text me, and I'll be able to reply you. But it's not free of charge, students. It's not free of charge, okay? But don't hesitate to tap on me, and I'll be able to, at least as a student, help you out where necessary. I do sign out. Have a good day. Bye bye.